My setup finally made it. As you guys know, I spent the time and money to redo my gaming setup completely so I can submit it to Setup Wars to be reviewed by Edgar. It's been like 4 to 5 months now. I haven't heard anything. Every time he posts a video, I go through it, watch it, and my setup is not there. Today, I opened up my browser, go to YouTube, and see, there's a new episode. I click on it. The thumbnail is not mine, so I'm not in it. As I'm starting to watch, all of a sudden I see GivemChills. I was like, oh crap. Today, we're going to watch together what Edgar has to say about my setup, his feedback, and I might have some comments about it. I might not. So without further ado, grab your butts and let's watch. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Nash and I make tech content everywhere. So let's go. Okay, we have the part where my setup is pulled up. Let's start watching.
Up next, we have a pretty badass dual setup by someone who goes by the name of GivemChills. All we know is that he's a software developer and a tech content creator from Colorado who built the setup for gaming and content creation. We got a massive U-shaped desk layout that consists of 4 Linman tabletops that he skinned in marble to give it a unique look. The main setup has an interesting monitor layout. So we got a 34-inch ultrawide that's mounted against the wall, and then a secondary 27-inch in vertical mode that's kind of tilted upwards. I get why he did it this way though. It's to make space for both of his speakers and his boom arm that's holding the microphone.
That is absolutely 100% the reason why I did it this way. Genius. I didn't even say that in my comments when I submitted my setup, but it is the reason.
Because the monitor is practically touching the tabletop, he's able to hide the mount behind it so easily. This is actually a very nice alternate layout as opposed to sticking both monitors together, because at least this way you don't have an awkward speaker placement because you have that extra gap between both monitors. Moving on to peripherals, we got an extremely clean Gamma Key LK67 build that's paired with the SteelSeries Aerox 3 Ghost mouse. Aside from the speakers, he does own a pair of Bose QC35s for on-the-go listening, but his go-tos for gaming are the Roccat Elo 7.1s that he keeps underneath the desk. Speaking of underneath the desk, my dude has not one, but 2 Godox RGB tubes just to add some lighting underneath here. I mean, these are not cheap.
They are not cheap. They are $250 each, I think.
By the way, they go for $300 a pop. I mean, everything about this setup is lit. There is an immense amount of lighting in this room. I do want to talk about the wall on the left side real quick because I think it's really cool the way he customized it. So he added a white pegboard in the center, which helps keep his setup from getting cluttered, but then he filled up the extra space around it with those 3D panels, and for lighting, he added some Gobi neon strips to add some separation and depth. I'm sure cable management was no easy task with this setup, considering there is
It was not easy at all. I hate it, but I love it at the same time.
So much gear, but he did a really great job routing all the cables through the raceways and into the back of the Alex unit where everything is plugged in. Powering the main setup is a gorgeous all-white build inside the Be Quiet Silent Base 802, and it's packing the Ryzen 9 5900X with an RTX 3070 Vision from Giga.
So this is funny. I don't have the SPC at all. I actually sold this case completely. I don't have it at all left. You guys have seen the build I have right now, and I upgraded to 3080 Ti, and my RAM is at 64 gigs now. And I'm about to rebuild my machine, so stay tuned for that.
Very nice choices for the build, by the way. The second setup also has 2 monitors, but it's powered by a 17-inch Dell XPS instead. And if I'm being honest, it kind of looks cramped in the corner. I can't help but feel like the secondary setup didn't get as much love as the...
Dude, this is so on point, you don't even know. So, just to give you guys a hint of what's going on right now, this setup that he's looking at is my coding setup that I work from 9 to 5 on, and it does not exist anymore right now. Last week on Friday, I took it completely apart. I don't want to expose too much, but we are rebuilding my coding setup completely from scratch right now. New PC, new everything. So this is going to be redone, and then I'm going to resubmit my setup. So stay tuned for that video. It's going to be awesome, but I agree with you. It is pretty cramped.
Primary. But I do have to give Chills some credit for being so meticulous with the color scheme. I think skinning the tabletops was such a good idea to add a unique look, especially since we see so many IKEA countertops on the show. It's nice to spice it up a bit. I do have to admit though, the RGB might be a little too much for some people, but personally I like it. I feel like it's balanced very nicely across the entire setup. Thank you, Chills, for sharing this awesome setup with us.
I do.
Thank you guys so much for watching. I love your faces, and I'll see you very soon in the next one.
Yes, dude, I love it. My setup finally made it. At 6. You are 100% right about the coding setup. I'm in the middle of rebuilding it right this moment. I appreciate all the love. Honestly, I'm baffled, and I'm glad that he liked it. I thought he's gonna have way more bad stuff about it, about the RGB being too much and about how the other setup was crammed. but it seems like he liked it, which is awesome. I love that. And thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for being a part of Give 'em Chills Nation, or whatever we are, you want to call us, on YouTube, TikTok, whatever you guys are. We just hit 5,000 right here. We hit 80,000 on TikTok, and this is just the beginning of making tech content for you guys that is also entertaining, not just boring reviews, just fun. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, which will be hopefully in a couple of weeks. See ya. Bye.